Good morning, friends. Today we are going to do the story of Hannah's prayer. This story comes from 1 Samuel chapters 1 and 2. Hannah didn't have any children, and it was actually very heartbreaking for her because that was what her heart desired. She wanted to have children. She wanted to have a son, and she had not been able to have a son. So our story today is about Hannah's prayer. Hannah had no children. Another woman teased her because the Lord had closed her womb. So now not only is Hannah not getting what her heart desires, but she also has somebody teasing her about not being able to have what she wants. So you can imagine how heartbroken she is. So it went on year by year, as often as she went up to the house of the Lord. Therefore Hannah wept and would not eat. So she's so sad she's not eating, and she's crying. And Elkanah, her husband, said to her, "Hannah, why do you weep? And why do you not eat? And why is your heart sad? Am I not more to you than 10 sons?" So he's trying to help her to look at what she does have. Look, you have me. Aren't I good enough? But Hannah was deeply sad. She prayed to the Lord. She vowed a vow and said, "O Lord, will you remember me and not forget your servant? Please give me a son, and then I will give him to the Lord all the days of his life." So now she's making a vow, like a promise. I promise that if I'm given a son, I will give him back to the Lord for his service. As she continued praying before the Lord, Eli saw her mouth. Now, Eli is the priest. Hannah was speaking in her heart, but her lips moved. Have you ever done that, where you're praying inside, kind of inside your head, but you're also moving your lips? And so Eli took her as a drunken woman. But Hannah answered, "No, I'm not drunk, but I've been pouring out my soul before the Lord." Then Eli answered, "Go in peace. God grant your prayer." Then Hannah went her way and ate. Her face was no longer sad. Why do you think that is? Why would she no longer be sad? Maybe she's trusting their prayers are going to be answered. And the Lord remembered her, and in time Hannah bore a son. She called his name Samuel. When she had weaned him, Hannah took Samuel to the house of the Lord at Shiloh. They brought the child to Eli. Remember Eli? That's who she saw in the temple. Hannah said, "For this child I prayed. The Lord has answered my prayer to him. Therefore I am giving him to the Lord." See, now she is doing her part of the vow. Remember, she said, "God, if you would give me a child, I'll give him back to you for your service." And so she's presenting him for service. As long as he lives, he belongs to the Lord. Samuel worshipped the Lord there, and Hannah prayed and said, "The Lord raises up the poor from the dust. He lifts the needy from the ash heap to make them sit with princes and have a seat of honor. The Lord will judge the ends of the earth. He will give strength to his king and exalt the power of his anointed." So in our story today, Hannah had great belief. She didn't just pray one time for her son. She didn't just pray 2 times for her son. Instead, it happened year after year when she would go up and she would pray, and yet still she wouldn't receive what she was asking for. And she even had people teasing her about it. But she did not give up. She did not give in. And so I have some questions for you to see what you remember today. What did Hannah ask God to give her? Did you say she asked him to give her a son? When she was at the tabernacle, who told Hannah to go in peace? Did you say it was Eli? What did God give to Hannah? Or God gave Hannah a son. And then what did Hannah do with her son? Remember, Hannah gave her son back to God for working in his service. And Hannah prayed at a tabernacle, which is kind of like a church. But we don't just have to pray at churches. But our craft today, I thought we could make a tabernacle. So I am going to get my stuff together here, and then I'm going to flip this around so we can look at what you need to do here. Let me see. All right. So you're going to need a piece of construction paper and an envelope. So this red would be my construction paper, my envelope. It needs to be open. I'm going to glue it down. That's going to become my tabernacle. That's going to be my building. Okay, so I'm going to glue it completely down. And now this is my opening for my people. You're going to need some popsicle sticks. And you're going to take those popsicle sticks and you're going to decorate them. You're going to make faces and things on them. You can add hair with yarn or whatever it is that you happen to have. And then you'll just put your people inside of your temple, and they can be there to pray. Now, while that's your craft for today, I want to remind you that you do not have to be in church or in a tabernacle or in a temple or any of those sort of places in order to pray. You can pray anywhere. And just like Hannah, when she wasn't praying out loud, she was praying in her head, you don't even have to pray out loud. God hears our thoughts. So this week, I would love for you to practice the art of praying no matter where you are. That's praying without ceasing. All right, friends, have a great week. Love you all.